Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a flip through of the month of February in my Hobonichi Cousin. Right now I have my cousin in this clear vinyl cover from Phelps Designs. Usually it's also slipped into my leather cover from Yard and the Leathersmith, but I took it out I think to do some watercoloring, and then I just liked the compactness of this, so I'm leaving it as is for now. When I just have it in this clear cover, I slip this Hobonichi pouch in the front here, and I just have any weekly kits that I'm using, any extra kits or ephemera that I've received and want to tip into my daily pages. In the back here, I have a piece of blotting paper. This is not A5 size, but it works just fine, and it's what I had. I also have one of the Hobonichi Weeks accessory notebooks, or whatever they're called. And I just set this up so that when I'm playing with my fountain pens and ink samples, I have a record. Maybe one day I'll do something more formal, but all I've done is written down each of my pens. So the Pilot Metropolitan Fine, the TWSBI Eco Extra Fine, and the LAMY Safari in the medium. And I'm just writing down the inks that I have in them. Unfortunately, I didn't think to do this until after I had already run out of 2 inks I was using, but I do have more of the samples, so eventually they'll make their way in here. And I did each pen separately because I want to see how inks play in different pens and with different nib sizes. So this is so thin, it's working really well in here, and since this is the place I will most likely use my fountain pens, it made sense to keep it in here. So moving to the February monthly, this is where I do memory keeping. I have my Shine Sticker Studio monthly stickers, and then a whole variety of different stickers here. I do tag these on Instagram posts, so you can also check there if you have any questions about anything specific, or you can also feel free to ask in the comments. I love how this turned out. Pretty simple. I played around with some lettering. This is the month that YouTube took my channel off and then put it back up. We watched the Super Bowl, or more accurately, the Super Bowl was on and we enjoyed some food. And I always love the spread. Here I somehow wrote the wrong dates. I don't always do this every evening. In fact, lately I've been doing it a few days at a time. I've been catching up on a few days at a time, so I just, crossed that out, wrote the correct date, and wrote whoops. And there you have it. Then we move into the weeklies, which I've still been playing around in. I didn't use a kit this week. I was still writing the daily stoic topics on the side here. And I used my Uni Jetstream in the 0.5 and the Tombow Fudenosuke in the hard tip. I do like that for kind of emphasizing certain words or, certain events. Gratitude at the bottom here. This was from a Shine Sticker Studio kit that I'd used earlier in the month. This one here is a kit from Raspberyl Designs. You can see I didn't do gratitude on this day, track my appointments. Still using the 0.5 Jetstream. I like how this looks. I think it's slowly starting to come together, my style a little bit. This was a week where I hadn't done it consistently. I don't think I touched it at all actually until Sunday, or maybe a couple weeks after that. And because I felt so far behind, I wasn't in the mood to go way back and pull out stickers for everything, so I just chose this Allie Brown washi tape that I love, and which is a little bit thicker for the bottom. And I just used the Uni Jetstream in the 0.7 to go ahead and fill it in. And I like this too, this simple pen only spread. I also liked highlighting behind the special event, which in this case was the Family Day holiday in Ontario, because it does kind of have it jump off the page. I used the same Tombow over here to mark an appointment that was time specific. Otherwise, the rest of my notes aren't time specific. They're generally in the order of the day. Like I'll write down the things I did in the morning at the top and then go ahead and move throughout the day. But I do try to put any sort of time-specific appointments or events in the corresponding slots. And then the last week of February. This is a washi tape that I received from Robin at Talks from the Heart in some Happy Mail, and it's beautiful. It's by London Gifties, I believe. And I used these stamps for the first time. These are from Carbon Stamps, a Toronto shop, and I think they are so cute and perfectly sized for the Hobonichi cousin. This is exactly how I was imagining using them, so really, really happy they fit. Some of the stamping is lighter because I just inked it once, stamped it, inked it, stamped it, and so on. I used the Versa Magic chalk ink in the Midnight Black, and I did get the set. I think they're sold individually too, but I really liked the set because I could theoretically see myself using all of these. So that's a lot of fun. I do all the stamping at the end of the week so that I just have to pull my stamps, ink, and I use baby wipes to clean them out all at once. I've been doing a lot of desk and sticker organizing. So this sticker from Once More with Love is perfect. This is from Beedoo Co. Paul and I went on a snowy walk that day. I treated myself to a note and wish purchase here. So this pumpkin paper co character was perfect. And then it moves into March. I'm excited to show you guys how March is going after because, again, still honing the system, but moving along in a path that I'm really enjoying. I also shared, I think it was on Instagram stories, but I made myself this little floating tab, I think it's called. I know that Dakshina has some of these and I've always really loved them, so I followed a tutorial, which I will link in the description box. And I only have 2 pieces of acetate, both of which I was sent in Happy Mail by Robin. So I was a little hesitant to ruin it, but it was very simple and I love how it worked. So it's really handy for me too to flip to the daily page. This is my February review, which I fill out at the end of the month. So reading, watching. My mom and I have been watching Superstore on Netflix and I'm really enjoying it. Listening to the Minimalists podcast, eating, drinking, creating. I always love filling this out. Some highlights. We finished season 2 of his Dark Materials. I made my first shipwreck casserole, a recipe from Paul's grandma, so it was super fun to use that. Homemade cinnamon rolls, that was a big accomplishment in February, and we celebrated the Lunar New Year at home by ordering Chinese food, which was delicious. And if you remember my January flip through, I do talk about not getting into the dailies as much as I wanted to. So I did think that for February, I would try to do the Creative Midori Challenge hosted by Florence at Live Life and Create. I tipped in this vellum, which is so old, I have no idea where it's from. I used some washi tape by Allie Brown, and I liked having it right at the front of the month. She had some really great prompts. I will tell you at the outset, I did not get in here every day, so you will see blank pages. Well, that's not entirely true. I do get in here in the mornings to write down my affirmations, so there's usually at least that on every page. So the first prompt was my February bucket list. Complete February challenge. I did it. I mean, complete was probably the wrong word. Create consistent content, not too bad. Walk daily, yeah. Move often, Practice compassion, work in progress, and make an effort to be creative with what I have. I'm working on it. I still feel the temptation to try new things, but I am getting better at going through the things I already own. And challenges like this, I think, really help me because they make me want to make more creative spreads and just pull from the sticker books, or these were some old Courtney Diaz printables I had, and use all that. This was favorite quotes, so I just put in some of my favorites. If you've been following me for a while, these are all quotes that have ended up in my bullet journals, so I'm really happy that they're here in one place. I also included a couple of quote stickers. from sticker books that I really loved. Actually, these are both from, surprise, the Happy Planner Homebody sticker book, which I always mention, but it's because I always use it. It's my favorite. I got this washi tape here from Sojourner, and I don't remember about that one. This prompt was keepsake, which I had fun lettering, and that was it. This is also a day I missed my affirmation, and that's okay. Got my camera washi. This is from Michaels, and it just reminded me of keepsake memories. So I put that there. Just my affirmation. Friday was the prompt, and I used an old stencil and my Tombow dual brush pens. I tried to do a little bit of blending, but I played it pretty safe using 2 shades of pink. And it's cute. Pink's not really my color, and that's what I mean when I say I'm trying to use things that I have that maybe normally would just be sitting there. I shared this one on Instagram, and Visualize Value is a wonderful Instagram account. I really, really appreciate how he distills concepts into these really stark and simple images that help get the point across. So this is copied from that, but it's totally different if you see it on his Instagram page. So I would definitely suggest looking that up, but this is just focus and opportunity. And the quote is, "Opportunity expands as focus narrows." I have my January 2021 flip through. Oh, I just realized I didn't show my yearly overview. But nothing really special here, just the videos that I posted. And I have not gone through and written down any memorable comments or interactions here. I still want to, but the fact that I haven't done it for 2 months tells me that maybe that's not going to be kind of an accurate way that I use this. So we'll see. Anyways, totally forgot about this page. Our printer also gave up this month, so I don't have all of my video pictures in here, but we did get a new one that has to be set up, so I will have to go back and stick them in. This prompt was what matters most, and I had all of these images already pulled out from some Real Simple magazines. So, you know, this is to represent Paul and I, my family, balance, Desi, reading, or my own interests. And I just used a Crayola super tip to letter here, and I liked how that turned out. Excuses I tell myself. I used a Mildliner brush pen here. It's too hard. What if? My what ifs are usually what if I fail or some sort of catastrophizing. I can do it later. Someone else can do it. Stationery wish list. I was so happy to be able to use this washi tape. This is by Liang Fang Watercolors from Paper Plus Cloth. So it has the brushes, you know, the little bear doing some art, glasses, palettes. Super, super cute. I've written down some of the items I've been wanting: a tote, some brush pens, a craft cart. Actually, I've already gotten a lot of these things because this was coming up on my birthday, so this was a really nice list to start out with so that I could kind of pass those ideas on when my family asked. Here we just have my affirmations, and I'm really enjoying using the brush pen. Again, this is the Tombow Fudenosuke in the hard tip to practice my hand lettering. Usually I will either write down any thoughts I have on the affirmation, or I will sometimes just rewrite the affirmation and try and help it sink in. On this page, I can see I didn't do any of that. Maybe I was having an off morning. That's okay. This prompt was watercolors, so I used my Koi watercolors and the, I guess, water brush pen that comes with it to give this a go. Not too bad. This crinkle when you use watercolor is so satisfying. Habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit, by Aristotle. And I just actually went through and wrote down my morning routine, which is wake up with an alarm. I have a glass of water first thing in the morning. I do my affirmation, my morning pages. my journal and planning catch up, some movement, meditation some days. I have oatmeal and green tea, a walk, and I make the bed. This is kind of an ideal situation, and don't forget, I am currently not working because of the pandemic, so I have time to do this. And I never get up with the intention or the energy and excitement to do all of these things. I kind of just tell myself, okay, you know what? Maybe you're not going to work out today, but let's have the glass of water. Let's do the affirmation. And then after each step, I kind of think, am I ready to do the next one? And I usually am. But if I don't get started, if I don't do the first couple things, then I'm way less likely to do any of the things. De-stress and unwind. This was some fountain pen fun for me. I got some fountain pens for Christmas, the Pilot Metropolitan in the fine and the LAMY Safari in the medium. So I had inked those up. These are the inks that didn't make it into my little book in the back. But this was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying using these and trying some old ink samples that I have when I first got the TWSBI Eco. My ink samples that I ordered from Goulet Pens for Christmas and never made it because I typed in the wrong address are finally on their way. Goulet Pens was amazing with just helping me track it down as it kind of traversed back and forth and back and forth. And they did end up receiving it again and put the correct address on for me. So super, super customer service, and I can't wait till those arrive. Gratitude is a gift I can choose each day. This is also the Tombow Fudenosuke in the hard tip in the purple. It's a beautiful color. Here I started doing, I think, some pre-decorating on the pages. This is, my first walkthrough of my affirmation cards. I've shown them before and I'll link it below, but it's the Feel the Glow deck and I'm really enjoying them. I'm enjoying going through them the second time just as much as the first, so I look forward to that every morning. Avoidance was the prompt, and that was an interesting thing to write about because avoidance is something that pops up a lot, especially when I'm experiencing high anxiety. Things are a little bit different during pandemic times when there's not as much to avoid, but it was interesting to sit and think about. I loved Florence's prompts, so this was a really fun exercise for me. These last 3 pages are my favorite for the month. This prompt was Zodiac, so I did a little bit of watercolor and I am a Pisces. So I just went over this with my Posca paint pen, tried to do a little bit of kind of stars in the background. They don't show up too well, but I can see them enough. I just wrote down some information from a website that really doesn't mean a whole lot to me because I've never followed a ton of that. I also did my best to recreate the constellation, and then I had this beautiful washi tape with the waves, which I thought was perfect because the element is water and the symbol is the 2 fish. Here we have my reading list. I put this washi in from Helen at the Coffee Monsters Co. This came in her advent calendar for 2020. It's super cute with all of the reading emojis. And it does also have a very faint text in the background, and it says, literally just typing random things to make this washi look intellectual, which is so cute, and it just repeats. So love that. This is some washi tape by MT, and this is from an old washi sticker set that I got at Fairy Milk Bar. So my reading list is Atomic Habits by James Clear, The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown, The Assertiveness Guide for Women by Julie de Azevedo Hanks, The Power of Ritual, Casper ter Kuile. I'm probably butchering some of these names. I didn't look them up first, sorry about that. And Leading with Character with Dr. Jim Lair. Oh, there's one more that I want to put on this list. I'm listening to a Brene Brown podcast with the Nagoski sisters, and they've written a book on emotions and stress. I think it's called Burnout. Okay, I will put it up on the screen. I can't look it up now because I'm filming with my phone, but I will also definitely add that to this list. And then we move to the last page, which was 10 highlights from February. And this spread is one of my favorite spreads I've ever done, and it's not one that was planned. Sometimes I don't plan something and it turns out great, and sometimes I don't plan something and it's just a mess, and I'm really happy to be able to flip the page. So I just went ahead and put down 10 washi dots from an Amazon order of a ton of washi dots. Pulled out some of my favorite memories, so the shipwreck casserole, YouTube being reinstated. We watched the Great British Bake Off, which inspired the cinnamon rolls. My mom and I built a table, which is funny because it was super easy and we're not handy, but we did it and it's a good memory. Lunar New Year, we watched Knives Out and loved it. Hallway soccer with one of Desi's little balls. Puzzling with my brother, and we finished our Good Place rewatch. This is another empty washi. It's a silver foil. And once this was done, I realized that I had enough tiny icon stickers that I could put something for each one. So these first 8 are all from Planner Co. I had actually messaged Sydney and asked if she would consider making a puzzle piece icon because we've been doing some puzzling during the pandemic, and she was kind enough to make this beautiful neutral mini sheet. So I was super happy about that because I hadn't been able to find what I was looking for anywhere. This is by Paper Bits Co. and this one here is from Let's Plan It. So this month was a lot of fun, and I'm thinking that prompts are probably going to be a regular part of my cousin routine. I think I like having them as an option in case I don't have anything else to write about that day, but I do want to first consider writing, you know, whatever is happening in my life, how I'm feeling, any pictures of the day, or, you know, receipts or Happy Meal stickers or anything I want to put down. And if I don't have any of that, then going to a prompt. So we'll see. I didn't choose a prompt for March, so that's something I will probably move forward with in April. If you're using a memory keeper this year, I would love to hear how it's been going for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.